Hey, what is going on, IK fam? BN, I'm back again today for another dope Infinity Kingdom video. I'm excited because in today's video, we're actually going to be talking about a community-related question. Today is going to be answering the question that I saw someone ask in the IK official Discord. This was asked by Atrix, where he said, so as a new player, should I play on a new server? And if so, catch up eventually. So we're going to be answering that question today and talking about what are some of the pros and cons from starting out in a brand new server compared to if you join an existing server that already has a little bit of age to it. So let me start off first by talking about joining a new server. So I'm pretty sure, as most of us know, right, if we go into a new server, there are usually some things, and as an example, let's see, the newest server right now is 46. This one just opened a little while ago. Right. So if we just go in and I can't even gander. Oh, sad life. Okay, let's see if we can gander on here. Okay, cool. So let's go to 45. We'll take a gander here and we will look at one, just kind of how the map is shaping a little bit. We'll take a look at, what's been done so far, if anything. And now what we'll do is we'll pop out to the map. So you can see here that actually 3 days old, but already a bunch of cities have been captured. Right, so when you're starting out in a brand new server, right, keep in mind that city levels are all really low. Right, there's not a lot of structures that have been upgraded. You're going to have an easier time with your alliance going out and capturing, being able to get that early experience, and from that, be able to capture territory. You'll be able to do some of the early diplomacy. You can do some of the, if there's any kind of PvP that's going on. And then, of course, you'll be able to experience the Chronicles from day one. On top of all of this, your power as far as you joining is going to be similar to everyone else. Of course, albeit any jumping groups, you will be starting off with the majority as the majority starts off, which is joining the server and then leveling up your account once the server's released. That part itself, I think, is probably the biggest takeaway from when you are just starting out and playing, because you don't have to worry about if things have already been, for example, if you're going into an older server, right, and you don't have to worry about things kind of already being upgraded, right, you being, somewhat a little bit behind kind of in the average power gap. And the new server jump just allows, or better yet allows for you to get that kind of day one experience and see everything that kind of goes into a server. Now, if you are a brand new player to Kingdom Builders, my recommendation, it doesn't mean that it's the 100% guaranteed option, but my recommendation there would be to, yes, take that new player experience in a new server because of, I think, just a lot of the pros that it offers. If you are someone who just really kind of wants to get an introduction to Kingdom Builders, you kind of want to see what IK is all about and how the servers progress from day to day. You don't want to feel like you're underpowered. You can kind of keep up with everyone, especially if you're active and you're playing, and then you can get the rest of the experience along the way. Now let me talk about joining an older server, because I actually think that if you're someone who has some experience in Kingdom Builders and you already kind of know the type of server that you want to be a part of and you want to be in, then my recommendation would be joining an older server. Now, keep in mind, because there are some cons here, but the cons are not as lacking as the pros are, in my opinion. So some of the cons are that, again, some of the big events that you're just going to miss out on is like City Sieges and Supreme Alliance, right? Those are the two big ones that are going to give you anywhere from, a couple hundred to a couple thousand, green gems. So it is a nice little boost, but keep in mind, it is not the end-all be-all. Now, if you are, as an example, right, let's go back home so I can show you, for example, like how our kingdom is set up in 36. I'll just use this as the prime example for an older kingdom, even though it's not extremely old, but just for sake of argument, to stay with me. So if you look at how the map is here in an older kingdom, right, you can see ours is kind of semi-sporadic. This is somewhat done with intent, And though I don't want to kind of go into the whole map organization structure of everything, let me just focus on what I believe the pros are here for the older servers. So when you go into an older server, if it is organized and it is structured, and let's say that's what you're looking for, and again, it does depend on the player. Some people might just want to do nothing but PvP, and you just need to find yourself a war server. But then keep in mind, even for servers that are organized and somewhat controlled in a sense, or structured, you still have to figure out and find a server that is for you. So if you join a server that's already structured and organized and has the things that you like as a veteran or just as someone who has some experience playing Kingdom Builders, then my recommendation for the most part would be to join an older server. And one, because you get organization, you get structure. Two, because the server probably is already preparing for SVS, probably already has somewhat form of a setup for AVA. And then three, as long as there's no server-wide PvP, you don't really ever have to worry about, you never have to worry about, fighting or being in a civil war or ever being worried about being zeroed all the time, whatever it may be. And then four, the other benefit is that you can join an alliance as a new active player that is already established, meaning that you're going to be able to progress your account faster joining an older server than if you joined a newer server. That's because the alliance tech is already more developed. In addition, they already have more... they've already captured higher level cities and they've been upgrading cities, so the amount of just free RSS you're going to get is going to help faster. Because the tech is already developed, the amount of helps you're going to get and the time reduction off of buildings is going to help you boost that even faster. So again, there are a lot of benefits that I think you do get from an older server, but it has to be the right older server for you. Meaning that if you're coming into the Kingdom Builder, that would be my recommendation, right? Is join an older server if it's something that lines up with what you want out of a server. Otherwise, if not, just go the new server route, right? Again, that is recommended for brand new players that are playing for their first time, just so they can get a little bit of an introduction. But I've even had brand new players that have joined our server or even other older servers that I've seen because they found that those servers were presenting them an opportunity that some of the newer servers just weren't, and then of course vice versa. So a lot of it depends on what you want out of the game as a player. But keep in mind, there are situations where the recommendation would be either a new or an older server. And I hope I at least did a good job of briefly covering that in this video. Again, it really wasn't meant to dive extremely deep into the more kind of, I would say, hyper or more advanced details of everything, but just to give you a nice overview on, again, depending on where you fall under, the types of servers you should be looking to join, because there is value in both. And more often than not, right, my last little note would be, I really think joining older servers, right, again, if they are organized, could still appeal to everyone, but if you're a brand new player, you may enjoy, right? Some people enjoy getting that day one experience, right? And that's something you'll just never be able to get when you join an older server. So with respect, that is something that I think has its own value to players. But again, this is my feedback. This is my opinion on whether or not the situations to fall under in which you would join a new or older server. I would love to hear y'all's feedback. Again, do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you find joining a new server has more pros than cons? Do you think joining an older server does? Where do you fall under? I would love to hear what you guys think in those comments down below. And again, that's it for me. Until next time, we'll catch you guys later. Oh, and last plug, remember, and I'm going to announce this probably later too as well, but it just got announced on the IK Discord. Keep in mind, we got that next Q&A or the next educational live stream week 2 session. That's going to be happening on May 25th, this upcoming Tuesday at 13:30 UTC, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Be there or be square. That was really the best I had there. I'm out, y'all. Peace.